Hey, welcome back to Copperhead Customs and welcome to another episode. Today, we just got swooped by birds. Today, we're going to do something a bit different. So stay tuned to see what it is. Okay, so over here, we got something under the covers that we're going to have a play with. So what we'll do is we'll sit you on the bonnet of this Beamer X5 and I'll uncover it. And let's have a look. Now we've got to do some work to this. We're going to wash it, clean it, and then we may sell it. I don't know, we'll see. It hasn't been driven in at least 6 months, I'd say, since this has been uncovered. So it's probably going to have a flat battery. We're probably going to have to jump start it. But it is a beautiful little car, very low-keyed. It is a 2009 Mercedes Benz C200, so that has the supercharged motor in it. We've got 20-inch wheels. Now we've got a little tiny scrape here. So there's a story about this car. This car was from the Gold Coast. It was a drug dealer's car. Yep, it was, and it was in a car chase. And the wheels were spiked, tyre spiked, and all of the tyres were gone. It was down onto the rims. Both of these doors were caved in where the cops had rammed it. It had smashed windows where they'd battened the windows out. Yeah, so we bought it at auction. It's clean title. Replaced the doors, the windows, fixed the rims, put new wheels on it. We put a new front suspension in it. I had to put a new fuel tank in it because the fuel filler spout back there goes through the wheel arch, and where the wheel had been, the tyre had been flapping around, it had burnt through the fuel filler. So yes, very lucky. We had to get all the glass out of it and whatever. And yeah, so the story was that the owner was a drug dealer who was getting caught, and he drove off on a police chase and threw all his drugs out the window and ended up getting arrested, and the car was taken from him. And then we went and bought it at auction. So that's the story on this car. So it's all been fixed. It all drives nice. Now there's a couple of things. So I put new front suspension in, and I put a new drop link in it, and I think the drop link's failed. It has probably only done 1,000 kilometres since we fixed it. But yeah, we have a little noise in the right front. So I think the drop link's failed. This is what happens with these parts nowadays. Now we've still got this little mark on the bumper here. We're going to probably just put a little bit of touch-up paint on or something. And there's a little mark on this guard. I never replaced this guard. So we'll see how we go. The doors are good, and there is still a piece of glass in that window somewhere, and when the window widens down, sometimes it makes a god-awful noise. So we're going to see if we can find that little tiny shard of glass that's in there. And we've got to give it a wash and a detail. First we're going to see if it will start. We're going to take it for a drive around the block. Then we're going to see if I want to keep it or if I want to sell it. So that's the plan today. So anyway, let's see if it will start. Reaper. Alright, so we definitely got a flat battery. Now, this probably isn't going to sound real nice. We've hooked up the jump pack. First start in 6 months, it's probably going to be a little bit rattly at the very start. No, it wasn't too bad. Had a little bit. Now that's standard. These are a timing chain motor, and they are renowned for failing timing chains. But this being just being sat for so long is why it had a little noise there. because this one is low kilometre and in very good condition. As you can see, we've got to clean a bit of this aluminium up on the motor. It's a bit, not corrosion, well, I suppose you can call that a bit of corrosion. So the first things first is, we'll jump in it. We'll disconnect this, of course. Then we will jump in it and we'll zip it around the block and put a little bit of charge in it and just have a listen to this front end. Okay, repump. Before we do anything, we've got a couple of tyres to pump up. So we'll do that. Now these are 20-inch rims by 10s on the rear. These are staggered rims we got on this. And as you can see, we've only got 255 by 30s. So living out in the country, this is not the bestest car. Okay, as you can see, we've got a bit of a mark here from where they touched it. Now I'm pretty sure I've had a go at buffing this, but we'll have another tickle of the buff on there and see if we can get a bit of that out. But yeah, what I'm saying is 30 profile tyres, they're not the greatest country car on our horrid roads we got out here. But yeah, 20 by 10s, and as you can see, the tyres are stretched to fit on these monster rims. So these are unheard of to have rims this big on one of these little Mercs. So we'll put a fair bit of juice in. We'll put 40 into these at least. Little pumpers pumping up pretty good. We'll put just over 40 actually, I think. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you the rims and we'll be back. Alright, with the tyres pumped up, let's go for a little spin down the street. Now something else with this is, as you can see, this had an airbag recall. So this had all the airbags replaced for free. It's actually very nice, this car. It drives really nice. So I don't know if we'll hear it. There is a little noise in the right front. And of course, it's not doing it. We get our rear vision mirrors working. Of course it hasn't made it today. Alright, we'll see. I'll come back in a bit. I'm just going to call in and see me mate. Alrighty, so let's just have a little look-ski at this. So we've got beautiful wood grain, most Mercs do, of course. We've got our folding mirrors, button, and our mirror controls, electric windows, all that malarkey. We've got the Harman Kardon stereo. Now, I don't know if you're not into Mercs, you wouldn't be familiar with that, but they are the best sounding stereo speakers you can get. We've got the sunroof. Yeah, there's all our sunroof controls. See if we can turn that off. How do we turn that off? Doesn't work. Anyway, this is our sunroof button. We're actually missing our button there. Behind here's our stereo. Ready? We'll turn that off. So there's our stereo, and here's our controls. We have Bluetooth as well, and you can do all that from your steering wheel, voice activated, all that malarkey. Dual climate control. Wood grain here. Here's your little 12 volt and your ashtray. See that? Boom. Push button. Now I think normally there's a little roller thing that goes here in your cup holder, but they are common for braking. And this here is also how you can control your stereo as well from here, so you don't have to worry about that. Now on the center console here, little button opens it up, boom boom, and you can actually hook up your, I think this is how you do your Bluetooth for your phone. It's a little thing you got to buy. Oh, well, that's about it, eh? Wood grain in the back, 5-seater. It's actually pretty roomy for a little car. Now these things here, if you've never had one, these things run on an oily rag. So we've had, this is a W204, they call this platform. The W203 platform, which runs from about, I think 98, 99, around there, up to about 2005, I think. We've had 2 of them, of that platform, and then one of these. Now they all have the same motor, the little supercharged 2 or 2.2 litre. Now they, I think the best we got that down to about 5.8 litres per 100 kilometres. So you can do the conversion to work that out in a mile per gallon, and that is basically as good as a Suzuki Swift is, but with a hell of a lot more style. Okay, so beautiful little fuel efficient cars. They handle good, they look good, they go good, they're reliable. Now here's the key with them. They are a timing chain motor. They are renowned for the timing chains going. Now, you know why? Because people don't service them. Okay, you service these, you keep fresh oil up to them. A lot of timing chain motors, that is the issue, is people don't service them regularly enough. You keep nice oil up to these cars, and then the guides don't really wear out. You don't do your oil changes, you run crappy oil in them, the guides start to wear, the chain stretch, boom, let's go. So the key is to service these things regularly. Okay, it's not hard to do an oil change. Seriously, it takes about 15 minutes. So you change the oil regularly, these things will go forever. We had one that had 380,000 kilometers on it, was still going strong as, and we actually sold it to a friend who, I think the motor was still fine. I think he did something stupid electrical wise with it by putting wet stuff in the back. But these things are little beasts, these motors, and they are very, for what they are pokey little things, little supercharged 2 litres. So anyway, there's some rabbiting about this. Badass wheels. Oh yeah. Anyway, Reaper.
I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same.
Okay, well, we have driven it into town, charging the battery up, and gave it a quick wash. Nothing fancy, just put it through the car wash, give it a vacuum, and cannot get the front end to make that noise at all. So, oh yeah, and the window, piece of glass I was talking about in the window, seems to have dislodged itself. So I spent about 3 days vacuuming glass out of this car, and there were still more bits on the ground. As you can see, we got a little mark on that there, a little mark there. I'm not painting it. There's a couple of little marks on these doors that I bought, And the front guard has a little mark, and a little thing there. But I think we're just going to send it like it is. So this afternoon I'll take some better pictures. Our little badge came off, so I've got to put that back on. And yeah, so we're all, as you can see, it's all blacked out. This thing's been blacked out. The badge is a little blacked out badge I bought. Yeah, it's all been blacked out. Honestly, the wrap on here really needs redoing, but yeah, I don't think they're going to bother. I think we'll just take some pictures and put it up for sale, and I might drive it around in the meantime. Not quite sure. See, all the handles been blacked out. Yeah, so this is a cool looking car. Drives nice, low-keyed, nothing wrong with it. Dark tint, looks awesome. But yeah. So anyway, quick little video, something different. Didn't actually do anything, did we? We were going to actually do the front end, but it's not making a noise, so I've got the parts. There's no point doing it if it doesn't need it. Anyway, it's probably going to be it. So, give it a boring one. I will show you inside. Go with a vacuum. Beautiful little car. Beautiful little car. Go with a quick vacuum. So, if you're in Queensland, which probably none of yous are, and you want a nice car, 10 grand. You want to sell this for? Now we've got to do a wipe out of the door jambs and stuff, and that's about it. I'll stick the buffer on that, see if I can actually get that out. And we might put some, I'll see if I can find another guard. If we find another guard, we'll include it. If not, otherwise I'll put some touch-up paint on that, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Something different. Thought I'd show you something. And we'll see you when we're back on the hot rods. Reaper.